This is a HeadGum podcast.
Ah! Yeah!
You okay?
Ah, buddy!
It sounded like you were disappointed in something, and
No.
maybe convinced yourself that it wasn't that big a deal.
No, it's, you know what it is? It's like, yeah, buddy!
All right, this again.
Oh!
I like it.
Hey, buddy!
Your beard is shorter.
Yeah, I trimmed it all up.
Looks great.
Thank you, man.
Sure.
I instantly regretted it.
Why is that?
You know, I thought... that, having a big old Bushman's beard, made me look a little gross.
Dave DeBushman.
Dave DeBushman. And I felt a little gross, and I felt like, you know, I'm the boyfriend of a pretty girl, and
Sure.
it felt like... I mean, maybe I could have talked to her about it.
Maybe you
I
could have
think
included her.
I've talked to her about it, and
She's
I think
just a pretty girl who you don't respect the opinion of.
that
or-
I don't talk to about anything. I just, you know, every once in a while, it was so big that I could, like, grip it.
Uh-huh.
I could give it a grip.
Hang on to it tight.
I could get a whole grip of my beard. And
Get a whole grab of that face.
a grab. I could get a grab of it and give it a tug, and you know, I could really grab it. And every once in a while, I would go into the bathroom and I'd shave around the edges a little bit and clean her up. I don't need that sound.
Not a fan of that right now.
Not a fan of that. No, I don't want that either.
But you have the type of a beard that your beard never makes you look gross, ever.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying
So you
that,
have a
and I
good
think
beard.
you're right. And I think you're right. And you know, I
We'd get an hour and a half out of this for sure.
Well, I think you're right, and in a bit we'll find out if I think you're right again, and then I think you're right.
Me and Zoya have talked about your beard behind your back.
Yeah, well, you texted me the other day or something and said we're talking about your beard, and
Yes.
I think that's sweet. What do you say? I want to hear about it.
Well, I talk about how I'm kind of Patches McGillicuddy, depending on what light you see me in. And I had, even when I started growing a beard, you have to grow it in certain areas and be patient so other areas cover the areas where
Yeah.
you're kind of jigsaw-ish.
Okay.
And you don't have that. You got good coverage, good shape.
I do have good coverage and good shape. I will say that. I'm a little not happy about this area here. I wish I had more of a connection.
Well, you can grow. I have the same thing. He's pointing to his soul pack.
The soul pashk.
And you can just grow that out so it covers more
Yeah,
area.
I've grown. I guess. Yeah, I think the soul patch gets to a point where it starts to become like a hair hand,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like with like 12 fingers, and they all go in like different directions.
Yeah.
And then I get like a little worried about it, but I've never really let my soul patch grow long.
Do you put anything in it?
In the soul patch?
In your beard in general?
Yeah, I when it was real bush boy, when it was really bushy recently, I have this stuff called Honest Amish, beard wax, and
So it's like a balm.
it's a balm, yeah, and it smells kind of spicy,
I like the balms.
and Bree enjoyed it. I
Great.
think she enjoyed the smell of it, and it kind of gives your beard a shine. And it gives it like a little bit of a.
Yeah. It keeps it together.
It gives it like a nice coat.
Yeah. I
You
like
know?
the stuff that you put in. It's always good to have a couple days where you don't put anything in it
Yeah.
to let it breathe and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But then it's not, when you get out of the shower, you put like a Earl
Yeah, you could put a little Earl in there.
or like a Bale.
Yeah, an Earl or a Beryl.
And then whatever, when everything dries, it's just nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice situation.
Yeah. I like your beard a lot. You've got like
Thanks,
a beard
man.
curtain.
You got like a face veil.
I do. It is like a face veil. I like it. You got a nice distance on your beard. I like
Sure.
that a lot. I like
Any
your
longer
mustache.
than this, it starts to look crappy.
How big have you let your beard get
I
ever?
remember seeing a Vine once of myself from like 4 years ago, and I was like, well, that's too much. That's too long and too much.
Do you like where it's at right now?
I think so.
I think I blew it. by trimming her down a little bit.
Oh, your shit grows pretty fast.
It grows kind of fast, yeah. I mean, it's weird because, like, I forget that, like, you know, without a beard, you get to tell what shape your face is.
Yeah. Yeah. I grow mine out so I have a chin.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
To get the illusion of a chin.
It really does give you the illusion of, like, a good chin.
Yeah.
And I forgot how round my face is without it. And so I feel not so great. But, you know, when I dress up a little bit and put on, like, a nice Burt Nerp, a little Burt Ernie, a Burt Nerpy, it looks nicer because you can kind of see my neck more. And,
Yeah.
But I regret it. I think I'm going back to Big Bird. Burt Nerp with Big Bird. With my Big Bird.
Yeah, a good Muppet face. No. You're good.
All right. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You're doing
I
great.
just look in the mirror and I see something I don't want to right now. But, you know, that's my own problem. But, Mike, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, man, we missed you.
And I missed you, and I haven't listened to the entire episode, but I
Well,
listened
you don't
to a good
necessarily
portion of
need
it.
any relationship advice.
Well, no, you know, I think everybody could use relationship advice, especially from such a solidly relationship locked couple.
Oh, man. I'm in a good situation.
Yeah, you're in a great situation. I'm very envious of that.
Why is that?
Well, because I hate myself. No, I am. I mean, come on. I think all of us are jealous. All of your friends are jealous of the relationship you have.
If I thought that, I would just stop talking to my friends. I don't need friends to be jealous of me.
But it's not a dangerous jealousy.
Doesn't matter.
It's not even like you know, I'm not like jealous in a way that like I'm upset. I'm jealous and like, man, I want that someday.
I get it.
It's like jealousy with a dash of envy, but with a massive dash of proudness and
I
respect.
like that. Well, Zoya loves you so much.
Yeah, and I love Zoya. She's so fucking great,
Yeah.
and she's funny, man.
She's
you
a funny
got the
chick.
gold mine there.
Yeah, man. Don't let her
Listen to this.
listen to this.
Okay.
Listen to all the compliments
Okay.
because she'll just throw them in my face and I'll hate it.
Oh, okay. And she'll be like, "Remember when Steve said?"
Yeah, like next time I don't laugh at one of her jokes, she'll be like, "Well, if you fast forward to 5 minutes in your last podcast, you'll hear Steve say," and I don't want that.
Well, I loved her her saying that she pulled out of nowhere, which I don't know if it is a real saying or not, but I loved it.
Which
What was it? It was like, if you don't lie, nobody cries, or something like that.
something like that.
If you don't lie, nobody cries.
Yeah, well,
I think
it's,
that's
you know,
great. I think it's a great, not only is it great advice, a great saying, but also I think it should be a T-shirt for sure.
It should be a T-shirt.
Like you guys were saying.
Most of the things that she says could be T-shirts. Doesn't mean anyone will buy them,
No.
but they would fit on a T-shirt.
But I think we need to
Character-wise.
definitely, yeah, it would definitely, like, you could put that on a T-shirt. I think you really could. I also enjoyed.
Is that a television show that we should pitch?
You could put that on a T-shirt.
Welcome back. It's Wednesday. You know what time it is.
Mike Falzone and I traveled the globe looking for all sorts of things that you could put on a T-shirt.
The intro is like us traveling the world and you pointing to mountains.
And you not, yeah, either, yeah. Yeah, it's me pointing at a mountain excitedly,
Yeah.
and you're like arms folded. No, not that one. And then cuts to like me pointing at like the Great Wall of China, and
Yeah.
you're like, no. And then there's one where I point at like
It's a small car.
yeah, a small car with like or like a crab with a cigarette, and then you go. Yeah! And then it shows us wearing it.
Mike and Steve traveling the world. They can put anything on a T-shirt if it works. Will you buy the T-shirt? Would that go on a T-shirt? That probably wouldn't go on a T-shirt.
But you would buy it anyway. I said you would buy it anyway.
There's no good theme music anymore.
No, there isn't.
Everything in the 90s like had to have one guy and a keyboard who
Yeah.
would write the theme music
Yeah.
and do 12-part harmony on every part, on the most important parts of the song.
Yeah.
And that's a lost art.
Dude, Danny from The Office shared this video with us, Danny Rosenberg.
She's
who
wonderful.
Has been featured on the SourceFed a couple of times. She's wonderful. man, she took care of me. She takes care of everybody.
She really does. She's an adult.
She is an adult.
She's
dude.
a good person. She's an adult. She's
Yeah.
she's a very professional adult.
She certainly is, and man, she so took care of me. She like when the health care stuff was like ending, and I had no health insurance because I'm a part-time employee.
Yeah.
She was like hitting me up on her own time at the office, like going like, "Hey, are you gonna get covered, or do you have information? Like, come to my office and let's get some information. Let's get you down. Like, let's figure out a good plan for you."
Yeah.
And she was like sitting there with me and doing it with me, and I was like, "This is the kind of shit my mom would do with me."
Yeah.
And I would expect it and appreciate it, not Danny.
Right.
And so I thought that was great for her to go above and beyond and do that. So a little
Danny
shout
is
out to
very
Danny.
maternal.
She certainly
She
is.
is kind of like the office mom.
She really is.
Not kind of like, she is the office
She's the office mom,
Who
yeah.
would be if it wasn't her?
I mean, no one.
It's her.
I mean, without her there, the place would fall the fuck apart. I really feel like it.
You know what I
She's the
really like
goo.
about, she's in the room. Commentary is kind of her thing.
Is it?
She kind of like produces that.
Oh, is this that's what she's doing now?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And she gives, no one in that building really gives any kind of direction.
Yeah.
And she'll like stop us dead and she'll restart us to get what she wants.
Yeah.
And that's so good. And that's so important
Yeah.
that like, it doesn't matter how talented the people are in front of the camera.
Yeah.
If you have somebody who can give like good, clear, helpful direction,
Yeah.
that's like invaluable.
It absolutely is.
And she's like that.
And you know, not to get too deep into the bowels.
Well, don't
of
get too deep.
We won't get too deep.
Steve?
But I will say, I'm not going to get too deep, but I will say that, you know, in the glory days of SourceFed, whenever you want to call it that, what I call it is the glory days.
Last week.
Literally last week. We would have someone behind the camera telling us that something we did was wrong or good, or keep doing that, or let's do that line again, but don't talk over Joe, or do
Yeah.
that line again, or Elliot laugh at that joke, and, you know, things like that, because then it was like, you know, it really helped us build our friendships up, and then it helped us be more professional, and all that went bye-bye, I think, for a while.
Yeah, very
But
helpful.
it's good to hear that Danny's doing that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But the thing I was going to bring up was Danny shared this video with the editors a while back, and it was the guy who scored the Seinfeld
Yeah.
music, like
Yeah.
the guy, like, you know, the Seinfeld theme, right?
The backwards bass stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. So the guy that like scored it is like out of his fucking mind. He's like this weird like, "Oh, I just love scoring music. It's just one of my favorite things. Like, you know, the reason why there's all those like sounds and stuff is like they're all my own voice. I'm doing like the
Oh, really?
like, yeah, they're all his voice sounds synthesized into his like little stuff there.
Yeah.
And then he like plays it all, and he's like, and I play it to Jerry's stand up. I play it like the way he talks. So the theme song is almost like the way Jerry talks, which is like fucking madness.
Interesting.
Like, I don't understand like how and explain, but anyway, I thought that video was so funny. We were laughing so hard in the editor's room. I was like, man, I want to create a Nuclear Family character that's like a guy that used to score old 80s TV theme songs.
Yeah.
And have him be the guy behind like all of like the real like 80s sounding ones, like the Perfect Strangers theme song and like Family Ties and stuff.
Yeah.
And just and make up this real weird guy that did that, and then have him like try to survive in this post theme song world, and like go like, well, here's a track that I tried to do for Modern Family,
Right.
and it sounds like a 90s sitcom or something, you know. So
or like the new like Transformers movies or something like that.
yeah, exactly.
Something very dramatic.
Right.
They tried to hire me for Split, but I think they did it accidentally.
Yeah, but the track's great. Here it is. And it's just, yeah, it's some kind of like, sometimes you got 7 personalities.
7 personalities.
Sometimes you fall in love with the wrong guy. Dun, dun, dun. But life's gonna be okay. Don't, it's gonna be a sunny day. 'Cause you're split. you split. So I wanted to do this character, but I mean, Nuclear Family is canceled. It's gone.
Yeah.
We have like 3 or...
Sorry about that.
Thanks, man.
How do you feel about that?
It's bittersweet because I think there's a part of me that feels like, man, I really got to run rampant and do like a bunch of weird shit. And ever since Benjamin Franklin Time Traveler, the very first one back in the early days of SourceFed, I personally have always wanted to do sketches on the SourceFed channels for a very long time. And Lee he came from a sketch comedy improv background, and Joe also, and they all really wanted to like do sketch comedy, and so the idea of sketch comedy and SourceFed being married together and working, it was always a dream of ours. So the fact that we actually kind of got to do it too late, in my opinion, because we didn't have Joe, we didn't have Lee, but we still, Bree and Matt were great, obviously, as well. But
it seemed like that happened for such a short amount of time, though.
Yeah.
No one. I don't think that people. I don't know whose decision anything is.
Yeah.
And I don't really care
or
whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think in general, not even pointing at just them, but I don't think people give online stuff. I don't think the not creative people, the people higher up, they don't give online stuff enough of a chance time-wise. They're like, we'll try it for a little bit, and if it's not working, we got to do something else. But they have no idea what the next thing is.
Yeah.
So they're just like going from thing to thing to thing. And like, of course, something is going to be hot when it first comes out.
Yeah.
And then it's going to simmer down a little bit. And then it's like, it's up to you to keep it going. And even if something has like a cult following, it's up to you to like cultivate that and like stir that and see where you can go and see where you can grow that.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, it's not doing as good as it was when it first happened. Let's get rid of it. And it doesn't make any sense.
That is the mentality in the YouTube world, I feel like. It's very much like, if this isn't working in a month, we are done.
That's why no one takes anything seriously.
Yeah. And that's why all of your favorite YouTubers have all tried like 12 new different things that like work out or don't in different degrees, because I feel like either there's outside money invested in the project that runs out, or there's a lack of interest from brands or companies that want to give us money, or there's just no money, or there's just not enough resources to keep on doing something, and for whatever reason it is. But that's the unfortunate business part about SourceFed, or about YouTube in general, which is, if you can't sustain it on a minimal budget, you can't expect it to go past a year, really.
And that's why you kind of had to have so many other things going on. It's so you could like, even if it's a personal channel, like, I think it's kind of understood now that I do whatever I want, and the understanding is that like, regardless of what it is, it may not be the exact same thing every week, but there'll be something every Tuesday, and like, obviously it's not costing me anything to run my own personal channel. I don't have to pay for health insurance for anybody. So I have the artistic ability to do whatever I want as long as I make money to eat somewhere else.
Right.
But I can't imagine like running a company where you need to like appease all these people, and people have no idea what it takes to like write stuff or make stuff, and they just see numbers, and like, either the numbers aren't here or the numbers are here, and we're gonna decide to keep going based on that.
Well, and you want to like expand when you grow, and I think there was a time when
you put on a t-shirt.
You put on a t-shirt. You could put that on a t-shirt.
Expand when you grow.
Yeah, expand when you grow. And I think there's always the need to. It's just natural to want to branch out and try new things when your business is doing well. And I think for a time, like, SourceFed was doing so well that we could try all sorts of things, like Super Panic Frenzy and Nuclear Family and People Be Like, and all these like offshoot umbrella SourceFed offshoots. A
lot of people don't remember the Blue Wall videos.
No, they don't remember the Blue Wall videos, and they don't remember my Blue Radar show, which was a Steve's Blue Radar, which was me talking about Blu-ray releases. And I would pull down a fake Periscope and go, let's see what's coming on this week. Boop, 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 boop.
Short-lived. I wish we had the budget to make these and insert them
into our podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
the
we
idea
fucked up,
is
man.
why?
2
We're
weeks
supposed to be
ago, we
filming?
were like, we were going to make fake
Oh,
commercials.
I know, but it was my fault. You can blame it on me
No,
because
your
I
fault
got
for
sick.
being sick.
Well, I got sick
Yeah,
and it
fuck
threw a
you,
wrench
man,
into
for
it.
being
I
sick.
feel like, I
How
still
dare
want to
you.
do that. We still should do the
We'll
the
do it
fake
next week if
ad
everybody's
reads.
healthy.
Yeah, but I think all good things come to an end, including this rock we're floating on eventually. And even if we love those things very much, it doesn't mean that there's going to be a constant flow of money to afford to pay for these things. And that's what's going to happen. in the
Everything
nuclear family,
dies.
unfortunately. Yeah, everything, including the rivers and the oceans you're trying so desperately hard to save.
Right, and that's
Those
kinda
will be
what-
dead soon.
And that's kind of what we want to talk about today.
That's what this episode's all about. It's all about why should we care about things that will die anyway.
Think of the thing, picture it, close your eyes and think of what you love the most.
And then think about how that's going to go away.
Either you or that
Or this.
or this. Also, I quit this now.
I think, though, Mike, eventually, because we've talked to people about because this show, Dynamic Banter, thankfully costs us also nothing
Yeah.
to produce. It's just we've bought the equipment. I believe it's already paid for itself with some ad revenue.
Sure.
Which I thank you guys,
Luckily
the
enough,
listeners.
yeah, thank you very much for listening.
For listening and also for using our codes. And hopefully you guys are using the stuff we throw at you because that helps us out a lot.
And there's a handful of people who just dump a bunch of money in an envelope and they put it in the mail to us once a week.
That's right.
And we can't thank them enough either.
Yeah, and it's weird that it's covered in blood sometimes.
Some
but
of it's
I don't
covered
wanna
in blood.
ask. I'm not going to ask.
It's like if you won't take the time, what keeps happening?
You're going to worry about it not a lot.
I'm
You're going to worry about it less.
I'm having trouble figuring out what you're saying now.
You're going to worry about it not a lot.
Okay. Get myself in the mindset.
But I think the idea I'm trying to convey here is that, we've been in talks with people about turning this into like an actual show or like a touring show or
Starring
something.
two other people.
Starring two other people.
Two more popular, polished people who have more
Young,
subscribers.
British, good-looking boys.
It's Dean Dobbs,
And
who's a hairy version.
crab sticks.
Crabs. Yeah, dynamic banter.
Yeah, but
Banter.
Benta. We're going to talk about cheese. But I feel like if we did get to make this into like a series somehow, we would do things like little bits and commercials. And
Absolutely.
like our put it on a t-shirt thing we were just talking about, we would have shot that.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of our discussion, you would have seen the intro and
That's what the show is.
Yeah.
And then to tie it into what we were talking about before, to be realistic about everything, that show, as good as it might be, is going to get canceled at some point.
Yeah, exactly. And also those guys doing it, me and Mike,
Dead.
will die.
So dead.
Yeah, we'll die.
And there's like the type of dead where there's no coming back.
No one's going to care about Dave and Ross in like 100 years.
I would if I was alive. I'll be dead. But if I was alive in 100 years, I would absolutely still care about Dave and Ross.
Well,
What's next for Dave and Ross? What happens next with that man?
well, with Nuclear Family gone, I believe that's it.
Can you not do that anywhere else because you did it on Nuclear? Can we even talk about this?
No,
on the
we can
podcast?
talk about it. I mean, I don't know the logistics of the character. I mean, I think
That's a tough word.
I think it's a Discovery owned creation now, but I'm sure I could discuss it. The possibilities of doing more things with that character on SourceFed or something.
Sure.
I mean, and I think that the possibilities of doing sketch like things are not completely off the table. We just won't be making like a sketch a week or whatever like we used to. But there's like 3 more sketches coming out, I think, or maybe 2 more. Not counting the one that just went up with Lee as a witch, which I think was really funny. But
Oh, I didn't see that yet.
you got to see it; it's real good.
Is there a third episode of the Batman cartoon coming out, or is that done?
I think it is. I think it's being worked on. Maybe
So we
don't quote
voiced
me on
3,
that. Yeah,
but I don't know what they feel like.
Yeah, I think it
paying
is
for.
coming, but I don't know. Maybe, but Yeah, one sketch coming up is I'm really proud of that I wrote with Bree, and it's real weird and gross and fucked up and strange.
I was filming something with Skybound the other day. It was a show that they're making that corresponds with Walking Dead episodes that come out. And it's like we're at a bar, and they have a specialty bartender, and she makes a cocktail that corresponds with.
I think Bree's done
Bree
that show.
hosted a couple.
Yeah.
And they were talking about her, and they were saying like, we can't say this, and that because our last host said this, and that, and they were just like, Bree, do whatever, and then they had to reel her in, like you do,
Right.
And somebody said, "Oh, I didn't know Bree was like that blue." And that in the comedy world, that means like talking about gross stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, "How much time have you spent?" Bree can get real gross.
Yeah, I'm impressed with how far she'll go for the joke. It's pretty cool. She'll like she like straight up makes she straight up makes like poop and pee jokes. Like she did this image on her Instagram where she's like laying in a puddle of her own piss. And it's like a Donald Trump like picture, like a supporting Donald Trump picture.
All right.
And she, excuse me again. And she also did, it was her idea to have foreskin be a part of the witch video that we just did too. So yeah, she's a real...
Such an important element when you're talking about witches.
Yeah. But Bree doesn't, she's got that versatility where you feel like, oh, she's just looks like a sweet girl who's just... wants to talk about makeup maybe or like some shows or TV programs, and then the next thing you know she's like, no, I smoke weed and I like punk rock things, and also let's talk about gross pussies and
Gross. Welcome back to Gross Pussies.
the new show. We're gonna work on the title. So Mike, so it's been at least a week since the last episode of Dynamic Banter, and I was very sick.
Yeah.
And then I got better.
I feel partially responsible because I was sick on your couch.
I mean,
while we were
you might have
filming
been partially responsible, but also the SourceFed office is like a fucking germ. Like
no one's ever cleaned that building.
No, I don't think so. I mean, there is a cleaning crew that comes in, but God knows how deep they get in there.
I think they walk around once.
I feel like Lee came in to shoot Ben Franklin Time Traveler, and she was like, I found a toothbrush. That was mine 4 years ago. Like,
I'm going to let you keep talking, and I'm just going to show you a picture.
Okay. So, but yeah, the SourceFed office is literally like a fucking gross germ hive of people that are just like sick all the time.
It's a pile of germs with a door.
Yeah.
And there's cockroach.
Ooh, I love cockroach.
Cockroach actually hosted a show called
Cut my life into pieces. That's the cockroach, right?
Yeah. Here's one. Why don't you
is cockroach gonna be at Coachella this year?
Sometimes for the hard of hearing they have oh no, what is it? It can't possibly be for the hard of hearing.
Hearing impaired?
No, but it's for like people who don't have great sight. Under some Instagram photos, they'll like explain what the photo is.
What?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like for people who can't see very well?
See very well, they'll like underneath the photo, they'll kind of describe what I've seen it. I don't know exactly why, but I've seen it.
But do they wait? Is there like a hashtag to indicate that that's what they're doing? Or
I'm above my pay grade here,
because I feel like
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I feel like descriptions under a photo is a pretty normal thing.
But it's a description like of
exactly what you're seeing.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know why you do it, but I wanted you to do it for this picture.
Oh, no, I've seen this. You posted this somewhere. Did you post this somewhere?
I think I just sent it to you. I sent it to you on a day that I was mad.
You sent it to me.
And I was like, this is...
Dude.
I don't get that. I don't get leaving food around the office. I don't get... I don't think this is the proper avenue to air my grievances, but I also don't care. As an adult, I don't get half of that stuff.
Well, people are gross, and old habits die hard is the sequel to Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I don't think if you're the type of person who will just leave used razors and food around the office, I don't know that I need to be nice to you to coddle you out of that habit. Like, I don't know that I care about your bad
But it's
habits
also not your job to be like, you should clean that.
Absolutely
right?
not.
Right?
Absolutely not. And I also won't touch it because I like almost no hepatitis in my body.
I'm gonna throw someone under the bus, but this will give you guys a little bit of insight. Although maybe they cut it out. Never mind. I think they cut it out.
Just cut it out.
I think
we don't need to talk about any specific people.
Okay.
Just know that sometimes shit is gross, and Mike Falzone specifically, don't like it.
There was a Santa Steve, like for this year's Santa Steve, I roasted someone about their food being left out, and it was like really funny, and everyone was laughing on set. And then I think it didn't make it into the final cut.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
But it felt kind of good to roast that person.
Cathartic? Is that what catharsis is?
Yeah, it was a little cathartic. So anyway, I was sick for like a week tops, and then I had like a 3-day period where I was like, fuck yeah, and I went to go see Split again. I took Owen and my buddy Laureen to go see Split.
Nice.
And then I shot my final Nuclear Family sketch. And I did all this active stuff and feeling great, feeling fine. And then yesterday I start feeling like my nose, someone turned the faucet on upstairs. Yeah. And I just started leaking nose everywhere. Yeah, that's not great. Now it's not going away, and it was like, it's very awful right now. Like,
I'll tell you where people go wrong.
Where is
I do it, everybody does it. It's like when you have a cold, you'll do anything to get rid of that. You'll like start taking vitamins, you'll start doing whatever. And then like the day you start feeling better, you stop doing all that shit. And the key is to like keep taking vitamins, rose hips, even when echinacea, you feel better, like 2 or 3 days afterwards, because it just because you're feeling better doesn't mean you're totally good.
I think you're right to a degree. I think my thing is I don't like super overload on like vitamins and things like that. I just get like a Zicam and I spray it up my nose.
Yeah, why put vitamins in your body?
Fuck that. I mean, I've never been proven to help a goddamn person. You know what? I'll tell you what.
One good thing about vitamins.
I guarantee you can find all sorts of vitamins in a dead person's body, and it didn't save them from dying, did it?
Siri, what kind of vitamins can you find in a dead person's body? What was that about?
So anyway, I'm back to this fucking cold. I think specifically what I did wrong was I had several days of just like being in bed those whole days, which is also like a very important thing. Like if you're sick, you really have to rest.
Yeah.
You really have to just drink your body weight in water the entire time and just rest and let all the shit leak out and get gross for a couple days.
Get gross with it.
And
you gotta blow your nose into your shirt sometimes.
Blow your nose into your shirt, get gross with it, but wash it when you're done. But I think what I did was I should have taken one more day to like just fully rest.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And so either it's back or I have some sort of allergy attack or something. I don't know, because I don't feel the symptoms of a cold. Like my throat doesn't hurt. My head doesn't really hurt. It's just like my nose is just like running like a goddamn faucet.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know, it comes and goes, man. But keep taking care of yourself. It'll go away again.
All right. Well, listen, we're at the halfway mark of the show, and I think we talked about doing something a little bit different. We have a pal who you guys may know named DJ Woldridge.
Sure.
And he has a podcast called Only Stupid Things?
Only Stupid
Ideas?
Answers?
Only Stupid Answers. Wow, we're the worst friends ever.
No. I've been on the show and I fucked up the title every time.
Only Stupid Answers, maybe is what it's called.
Just one stupid...
Just the tip.
Just the stupid tip.
Justice League.
Justice tips.
But also Sam Basher is on that show as well. But DJ, who you guys know has been featured on SourceFed a whole bunch, Superhero Roundup and stuff like that. He's making a comic book.
Yeah.
And he's he asked if he could come on the show and promote the book, and I don't see why not. I said
no.
Well, Mike said no, but then I said, how about we compromise and we just Skype him in? That way we don't have to have the giant freak in my home.
That was my big thing. It's because you know how nervous I get around taller people.
Well, he's a giant freak man, and he's terrifying. He's a very scary boy, and I don't know if you've met DJ in person, but the man's intimidatingly scary.
I hate how
He's like-
average his hands are and how tall his body is.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're looking at his hands and you're like, I could take this guy. And then he stands up and you're like, I got no chance.
Yeah. You know how when you like when you put like maybe like an apple, when you stick a straw on an apple. You ever done that? You stick your straw into an apple just as a joke, and you're like,
Expecting
"Ooh, I'm gonna
juice."
drink apple juice."
Yeah.
But then you like pick the straw up. You pick the apple up by the bottom of the straw.
This is such a specific.
And then the apple like breaks the straw, or at least bends
Yeah,
the straw.
sure.
It won't hold under the weight of it. I feel like that might happen to DJ because he's so tall. And I'm worried about the midsection of his body.
You're worried that maybe he doesn't have the core strength to support his own structure.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to him about it?
I think we should talk to him about it. So let's
Maybe
call
we'll
him
get
up.
to the comic book eventually, but I'd really like to get to the bottom of this. Is DJ too tall type situation?
Is DJ too tall to be a product of society?
Yeah.
To contribute to society?
You should have written these questions down.
Oh, fuck. I don't prepare for this. I didn't prepare. Did you
Do
prepare?
you take any of this show seriously? Here he
No.
is.
No, I don't. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, DJ, you put on your FaceTime,
Such a
too.
tall
You didn't have to
voice.
do that, but I'm going to look at you now.
I can just do the regular talk.
Yeah, you can just talk. And in fact, if you want to turn off your camera, I don't know why you would. Oh, there it goes. It's gone.
It's gone forever.
Okay. Well,
Let me move to my vehicle.
okay, move to your vehicle. So
Is he going from a house to a vehicle?
let me leave this building I'm in to get into a vehicle.
Let me go run through a sprinkler.
Let me go get into my car and drive while we talk on the phone. So I get most of my thinking done.
Hey, DJ.
I can't go talking in the office.
No, you can't. Oh, so you're at? Yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention. DJ is currently at
some of us
SourceFed
have work
working.
during the day.
What are you working on right now?
Oh, a video about cock rings.
A video about cock rings.
Johnny Cockring.
Fantastic.
O.J. Simpson's lawyer.
Oh, that's good.
You got it. Johnny Cockring.
Johnny'sCockring.com. DJ, we were just talking about your podcast. Only the people forget. Only
Some people have bad questions.
Yes, only stupid answers.
only stupid answers.
Did we say that
Stupid
one?
answers. Listen, there are no dumb questions.
I think we were
only
calling it.
stupid answers.
I think we were calling it only stupid questions.
Yeah, that's a common mistake, and that's wrong.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
We're sorry
Correct.
about that,
But I
DJ.
get it. I do get it.
What is your podcast about?
Whatever the hell Sam and I want to talk about at the time.
Okay, great. So it's not just about
Typically-
comic books.
It's about movies and TV and comics, and sometimes ghosts.
Oh,
I'm gonna ask a question that a lot of the audience is asking. Is it mostly nerd shit?
Yes.
okay. All right. Well, that's all right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If you hate nerd shit, would you hate your podcast?
No.
Well, this is coming from the guys that have a Cloverfield only podcast.
Yeah, like I would hate that if I hated Cloverfield for sure.
Yeah, I just to talk to you guys today, I made sure I rewatched both Cloverfield and Cloverfield 2.
Oh, good.
It's very important
Yeah.
for dynamic banter that you have
Good.
a working
Good.
knowledge
Yes.
of Cloverfield.
And you are also all caught up on Lost too, right?
I of course I am.
also
Seven seasons? Was it 7?
6.
6. I just added an extra one in there.
And also, you have. Well, how's your knowledge of bees?
My knowledge of bees is limited. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well,
Okay,
I think
well,
we're gonna have to cut you short.
You know what? Let's power through
Damn
this. Talk about your Kickstarter so we can get you out of
Wait,
here.
hold on. Before you talk about your Kickstarter, I've got another question. What is it like being a real life It Follows?
Being, it's funny. Being the real life It Follows. It's people are scared a lot of the time, surprisingly.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, in the trailer for It Follows, there's a
Yes.
very tall, terrifying man that comes through the doorway, and it's
That's me.
terrifying. And I feel like you coming in through a doorway reminds me of that scene in the trailer.
Real
And-
quick,
Yes.
I know you guys probably don't go on tangents on your podcast.
Oh,
but
we definitely go on tangents.
I'm not a. we go on. I'm not a fan though.
did it weird anybody else out in that movie that they made a big deal about it could be anybody? The It Follows thing could be anybody from your past, present, or future. And it wasn't anybody she knew ever except until the end.
Yeah, that was
Like,
kind of
it's
weird.
all-
I think the biggest problems with that movie were really in kind of like them not letting us into the lore of the It Follows monster or entity. They didn't tell us what it is. They didn't tell us why it looks like certain things sometimes and why it can take the shape of someone you love, and they didn't really like give us much. And so it was just like, here, take this horror movie at face value without any lore or anything, which sometimes I appreciate because I don't necessarily like a hand-holdy movie where they're like where they explain everything to you, but I think that movie needed just a little bit more.
just a scooch. How would you have felt if it was called It Follows You on 10 Cloverfield Lane?
What if it was called It's a Little Hard to Follow?
What if it was called Stick With It? You're gonna get it. You'll get it.
We'll get you there.
It's
That's the movie title. We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there. Hear us
DJ,
out.
I think as a movie boy, you might appreciate that I had to make a decision. I had to make sort of a tough decision this evening between two events happening at the same time in Hollywood that I had the opportunity to go to, Hamburg. But one of those movies was John Wick 2, and the other one was Get Out.
Ooh.
And so here's the thing. So I had the choice to see both of these movies tonight, but the Get Out event was going to be a screening and Q&A and cocktail reception, and it's like Chance the Rapper was going to he's moderating between Jordan Peele and the cast of the movie.
That's amazing.
So it's like I think you know what decision I made, but
I can guess.
it was definitely kind of a tough decision.
But we decided to record dynamic banter.
There it is. Was there any chance of meeting Keanu Reeves at the John Wick 2?
I don't think so. But honestly, if there was, it would have made it an even harder decision because I've loved Keanu Reeves since the original Bill and Ted, which I saw in the theater as a young Billy. Yeah, that's right. Ted Theodore Logan.
I'm a big fan of the John Wick and the Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I remember seeing John Wick the first time and thinking, what an overload of testosterone this movie is. There's way too much jizz all over the camera lens. And then I watched it again like last week to prepare for the sequel tonight. And I was like, oh shit, this is actually really fun and really good, except the score is absolute trash.
Can you give me that?
I don't even know if I remember the score. I just remember loving all the action. My only complaint with John Wick is I don't know if it did a good enough job letting the audience in on the fact that it's a joke. Like it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
fun
I mean,
and
I think there's enough in it, but the score is just like the electric guitar music is just so bad. It's like very like, early Creed type stuff. But Mike, the elevator pitch for John Wick is you have this man who lost his wife, who he loved very much.
Like at a theme park?
He lost her and could not find her again.
Yeah.
No, she passed away from some terminal disease, presumably
like
cancer.
they do.
And when he comes home from that, from like burying his wife, basically, a delivery comes in the mail, and it's a dog, like a puppy. And it was from his wife, and it was like basically her saying like, well, I'm dying, but I wanted to give you something else to love. So here's a dog for you.
It's a movie. He gets the dog and he falls in love
And
with it.
that's it. And it's a wonderful film about a man and a dog.
A dog.
No,
of
well,
purpose.
what ends up happening is some terrible people see him driving around in his badass car. And
It's a great car.
And it's a really cool car. And this guy is like, how much for the car? And he's like, it's not for sale. And he's like, everything's for sale. This isn't really the elevator pitch, but basically what happens is...
It's the movie. It's the premise of the movie.
I'm just going to go through the whole movie for you here. What happens is these guys find his house, they break in, beat the fuck out of him, and then kill his dog.
What? Why?
And because they're fucking terrible assholes. And so the next day... the crooks that like took his car bring it to like a hot shop where they're gonna like hawk it or whatever.
Yeah.
And the guy who's there, John Leguizamo, who's pretty cool in the movie, says,
Yeah.
where the fuck did you get that car? And they're like, why does it matter where you got that fucking car? And he's like, that's fucking John Wick's car. And he's like, you better fucking, like, you're fucked. Like, you better give him his fucking car back. And then so John Leguizamo punches that guy, And that guy is like the son of this fucking crazy fucking like overlord guy who's got like a fucking bunch of money and a bunch of like crooks in the city. And so that guy is like, he calls up John Leguizamo and he's like, I hear you punched my fucking son. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, he's dead, right? And John Leguizamo's like, yeah, I did, man. Because your son beat the fuck out of John Wick, stole his car, and killed his dog. And then the guy's like, oh, shit. And he hangs up, and basically he goes to his son and says, you made the biggest fucking mistake. John Wick was like our number one like assassin guy.
So it's like Pretty Woman.
It's like exactly like Pretty Woman.
You made a big mistake.
So much
Huge.
like Pretty Woman.
Yeah, yeah. And so basically the whole movie, John Wick is just like hunting the guy that killed his dog and beat the fuck out of him. And it's like a crazy, it like goes into the world of like assassins, and there's like this really cool like kind of like universe they've built for there's like a secret assassin headquarter where all the assassins hang out, and
that
it's
sounds
real cool.
awesome.
It's really, really cool.
I didn't know anything about it.
Currency, the action's great, and
Score's
but
not
I'd
so
like
good.
to suggest maybe a title change. What if they called it A Dog's Purpose?
I think you got a hit, DJ.
I like that.
There.
Well, anyway, DJ. All right, so enough John Wick talk. What the fuck is
I love
your?
John Wick.
What are you working on, man? What's the thing you came to pitch?
Listen, I'm making a comic book finally, my own.
And this is something
Not
you've wanted to do
talking
for a
about
while.
others, my own. What'd you say?
This is something you've wanted to do for a while.
You know, like I've made some short films, and the problem with making your own shorts is you can only write what you can afford to shoot, and so a lot of my shorts are just people in a room talking at each other tersely.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but with a comic, I was really allowed to just do whatever the hell I wanted. So I went with the craziest idea, the idea that I thought like this would only work as a comic book for me.
You're like, hear me out. This guy's wife dies.
She eats him a dog. All right, it's called A Dog's Purpose. No,
Well, yeah. Tell us what the comic is about. What is it?
the comic is called Chaos Theory: Zombies versus Dinosaurs.
Okay, all right.
I'm in.
All right.
It. That's exactly what I give you. I give you zombies versus dinosaurs. Have you guys seen the Dawn of the Dead remake?
Yes, I enjoyed that a lot.
All right, you know how at the end they're like, we're going to escape the zombies and sail away to a tropical island. What if that island was the Jurassic Park island?
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
that's really cool. Yeah.
My
I dig
brain
that.
just came.
It's that kind of that seed got planted in my brain and I couldn't shake it. And so I just made a story out of it. So a bunch of zombie apocalypse is going on. A bunch of survivors are trying to escape the zombies. And one of them's a scientist. And she's like, maybe my fellow scientist can help me solve it. And he's working on a project on this island. And the project is bringing dinosaurs back from extinction. And of course, there's somebody on the boat that didn't tell anybody that they were bitten. So the zombies are attacking. There's dinosaurs. It's just wall to wall craziness. People are getting stepped on. Things are blowing up. And there's just a little bit of heart thrown in for good measure.
Oh,
I
sure.
like
A bit of,
Why not? Well, now you've got me interested.
yeah. So
I wasn't
if you wanna
interested
know
until you
more about
mentioned the
that,
heart.
You can go to chaostheorycomic.com.
So chaostheorycomic.com is where they can
Yes.
go and help support your Kickstarter.
Yeah, because making a comic is a very expensive proposition. You got to pay your artists. You got to pay printing fees so people can get their hands on it. And so this is kind of a pay it forward situation. People can contribute now, and they will get the comic, either a digital copy or a print copy signed by me. There's art prints from the artist. The cover is done by Tom Neely, who's really big in the indie comics world. He's done stuff like The Humans and The Blot and Henry and Glenn Forever. So you can get an art print signed by him. A bunch of cool stuff like that.
So you've got perks for people who donate their money.
Yes. Yeah.
What's like
So
the top perk?
The hot perk, I think the most appealing perk to me is the $50 one, because you get a signed copy of the comic by me. You get an art print signed by Tom Neely. You get trading cards of the characters and creatures in the comic with backstory that I couldn't fit into the comic.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, you get a digital copy of the first draft of my script so you can laugh at all my typos. Yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff in that one. I that's my favorite one.
Well, that sounds like a good deal too. $50 really isn't that much for all that cool stuff.
Wasn't there something?
I tried.
where-
You know, that's the thing with these things. You got to try and figure out where the sweet spot is of when you're really giving people bang for their buck. You know, because you want to treat these people are supporting you. You want to treat them right.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
you're right.
were we gonna say, Mike?
I was gonna say, wasn't there something where you were drawing people, or people could get drawn as a zombie?
Yeah, I introduced a new perk this week where you can get drawn into the comic as a zombie. There's only 2 of those left. So if you've ever wanted to be the monster in a monster movie, this is your shot.
How much
You
is
can
that
also
going to cost
get
me?
drawn into the comic as a survivor, and there's only us talking right now. There's only 1 of those left.
What do I have to give you to make that happen for me personally?
To be drawn into as a zombie, it's 200. To be drawn as a survivor, it's 500.
What if I wanted to be drawn as a dinosaur or a Jeep?
Then you, Mike, you can just ask me real nice, and I'll talk to my artist, and I'll make it happen.
What if I want Wilford Brimley to be drawn in instead of me?
You know what? That is a great point. You could just have anybody else you want drawn in there as well.
What about if I just want me and Steve podcasting in the background of the most dangerous scene, as we are right now?
Let me talk to my artist. I'll see what I can make happen.
Okay, thank you, DJ.
What if I...
Hello?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
DJ, I'm very excited about your comic. I think it's really cool. Do we get to see a copy of it, or can you send us a digital version of it for absolute free?
Yes.
Because I'm curious to check this out, and maybe we can give you another little pushy-roo on the podcast.
I hope that
at
the
a
people
future
from
date.
the podcast at the very least go check this out, because you're a hardworking boy and you're a very nice boy, and everything, all the drawings that I've seen so far, and the story, I'm into the story, and everything I've seen so far looks awesome.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I lucked out. I got some people working with me on this project. They're way more talented than I am.
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah, that's what you need. So I put a lot of work into this, and I appreciate you guys letting me talk about it with you.
Of course, DJ. I'm really excited about it, and I hope it does well. Good luck on that. And where are you at right now in your goal for the project?
As of right now, we are over 80%.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So we're doing really good, and the cool thing is I'm already planning on some stretch goals where I can add extra things to the parks for people. I got some really exciting plans for that. And then the more we go over the goal, the better quality of the print run I can do with the comic, like better quality paper and stuff like that, and more perks and stuff like that. So that gives me hope that we can raise more than my initial goal, and this whole project can be just top notch, you know?
Well, DJ, this sounds awesome. I want to say good luck to you. And I also wanted to give you a 40 horn salute
Thank you.
for your comic. So if you just hang on just 1 second, I'm just going to get 40 horns out here for you, okay? Here we go.
Please do.
So there you go, man. That's 40. Oh. Well, did
There
I
it
miss
is.
one?
I was counting. And
Oh,
I
you
was
weren't
like, wait
counting.
a
I missed
second.
one. I think I felt a weak one in there that didn't give me. So even if it's a 41, then you get an extra, and that's fine. You could just send me the change.
Yes, I will.
DJ, thank you for joining us. Mike, you got anything else to say to DJ at all?
Yeah, when are you trying to... Oh, there we go. When are you trying to put it out, DJ?
May. Everybody should be getting their copies in May.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. And do you feel like you might take it to Comic-Con at all, or?
I'm going to try. I'm going to try and take it to some conventions. I'm also going to try and take it to some publishers to see if they want to do the run people will be getting with this is exclusive to Kickstarter. That's where they're going to get this. But maybe somebody out there, a publisher, will want to put out another run of it.
Oh,
That's cool.
DJ, talk to me about that specifically afterwards, because I have an idea. It's just an idea. I don't know if I could help at all, but I have an idea.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I will talk to you about it after.
Great.
And also, I'm sure you know, the artist alley at most conventions are like, it's a little costly, but you could get yourself a booth and you could sell your book there and you can get people to come out. And, it's a good way to kind of push your book as well at conventions.
Yeah, I would love to do some convention stuff just because that community is so cool,
And me and Steve are going to be at Comic-Con most likely too. So when you draw us into the comic, we can absolutely sit there and sign every copy if you'd like.
Yes. And I hope that I hope that either you draw or someone else draws Mike and I kissing passionately.
There you go. We'll make it happen.
I'm going to give that a 3-horn. All right, DJ. Well, thanks for joining us, man. And you have a great, excellent rest of your day editing videos about cock rings.
There it is.
Awesome.
There it is. I will enjoy my day. You guys have a great rest of your podcast.
Oh, thank you. And what was the website they can go to again to check that out? chaostheory.com?
chaostheorycomic.com.
chaostheorycomic.com. All right, well, guys, check that out if you want to see a sweet-ass comic about zombies and dinosaurs that our good pal DJ is working hard on.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DJ. Have a good one, buddy.
Yeah, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
It's a good boy, that DJ.
Yeah, he's a sweet man, and I hope it works out for him.
Have you seen the pictures?
Yeah, I've seen some imagery, from his tweets and such.
Imagine that, having a comic. That must be
Pretty
so
cool.
If
yeah.
all you love your whole life is comics,
and you're making your own comic, yeah, that's great.
That's good shit.
I see no difference between doing that and like what Darren's doing with his music, or
one's like a comic book and the other are songs.
Well, I don't want to split hairs. So we're at a good point here to do a little history road.
I would love to.
Bro my nerves.
That's a good one. Breathe from the diaphragm.
I'm really excited to debut something here that I didn't discuss with Mike. Please, our very own Owen Carter made us a History Road theme song.
What?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
He did it like this week or last week.
1 minute. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Owen Carter,
Party starter,
made us a History Road theme song.
I think that's terrific.
And this is its Dynamic Banter debut. Are you ready?
I'm very ready.
And I think we should play it every time to start off Dynamic Banter. I think it'd be great. All right, here it is.
History. History.
All right, well, thank you very much, Owen, for that.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that wonderful?
I'm a big fan of that.
I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's great.
Oh, boy.
I'm a fan of
is that a bookend type situation? Do we play?
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should play it once more when we're done with it.
Oh, terrific.
I'm a big fan of when Owen does anything on his own without anyone asking him to.
When he goes to the bathroom.
Lyric Knockham sends us an email with the subject line History Road shout out /story. Lyric.
That has to be a British person, right?
I don't know.
Name things
it's
like
such a cool name, though. Lyric Knockham.
It's a beautiful name.
Let me blow my nose once more, please.
Okay.
It's really dripping here. Now I've got a plugger.
Listen, I hope this is your last day of drippiness before it starts to.
Hope so.
Do you do the saline solution at all?
Yeah, you're talking about not EpiPen.
When you just
neti pot, like a neti pot thing. You're talking about just the stuff you just spray into your nose?
Different salts and water.
Yeah, I think there is a version of that that's called the neti pot.
Sure.
And
but that's when you like pour it into your nose.
You pour it in your nose from a thing, and then it comes out this side. I think it only
Yeah.
works if your nose isn't all plugged up, though. My nose is plugged up.
I'm not big into the
Neti pot.
neti
You're not
pots
into
or-
spraying stuff into your nose,
Right, but it helped me so much when I was sick.
Well-
it clears your whole sinus shit up.
I do have some stuff that I use that when my nose is super plugged up, that'll unplug it pretty quick. But I went to a doctor about it recently, and they were like, "Oh no, don't use that stuff for more than like 4
Does
days.
it have anything other than salt and water in it?
Yes.
That's where you get into a problem.
Yeah, because
The stuff that I got from fucking Whole Foods, it's
Yeah.
literally just like different salts and water. You can use it as many times as you want.
Really?
Spray it up there, let it sit for like 2 minutes, blow your nose. It like just declogs your shit out.
You're talking about holistics.
History. History.
Lyric Knockham sends us this email. He says, "Hey guys, my name is Lyric, pronounced like the actual word in the English language, and my friend-iversary with my best friend of 5 years now is coming up soon, so since we've recently moved away from each other..." Here it goes.
Oh no. Oof. You all right?
Here. For college, and we were both active listeners of Dynamic Banter. Love the podcast as well as everything else you guys do. Thank you very much. I wanted to shout him out now. I won't say his name because this is about me, but he knows who he is, and I also wanted to tell the story about how we met because it's the greatest story of all time. That's sweet.
We're about to hear about some friendship.
Cut to Miss Vandermark's sophomore honors English class. It's unimportantly raining outside. I am way too stupid to be in this class, so most of the time I was silent, and he was too smart for the class, so he was annoyingly the exact opposite. Before class started, I was talking to my friend Stephanie about a homework assignment, and what was he doing? Standing on a desk while his friends tried to push him off. Suddenly, when he was pulling his hand back from his friend, his elbow went BAM! Right into my bottom lip, immediately swelling my already gigantic lip.
That's a meat cute.
It's a humble brag for gigantic lips. Now, growing up where I did, when someone you don't know hits you, that's an immediate invitation to throw hands. So I was ready to fight, but Stephanie had graciously told me to wait at least until I went to the nurse to aid my bleeding lip. I was sitting in the nurse's office waiting to be allowed to leave so I can go back and give him a matching bruise, when suddenly he came in with my pass back to class and then proceeded to apologize for the next 10 minutes. We started talking that day, and now he has been my best friend for 5 years, and I wouldn't trade him or that story for anything. Anyway, all this sentiment aside, just wanted to say thanks to my friend Damon for 5 years of sheer fuckery, and that I hope he doesn't fail out of college without me there to hold him accountable. Thanks, you guys. If you choose to read my story, really love what you do. Sincerely, Lyric. What a sweet story, Lyric.
That is very sweet.
Happy 5-year anniversary to you, Lyric, and
You couldn't mention your friend's name once.
Damon. He said it. He said Damon. He mentioned it once. I say we do a 80 horn honk. 80
Can we talk about this?
for Lyric and Damon.
Is there any? Oh. Uh, 79. And that, okay.
That's an 80 horn honk for 5 years of friendship.
We got to talk about
It should have
that.
been 50. Let's go ahead and do that instead.
Well, Steve, I'm going to.
Well, thank you guys for that history road.
We got to discuss the horn.
History. History.
My neighbors hate me.
Some person just thinks there's a ceiling.
I hope they think I'm rehearsing for my clown routine.
My clown situation.
My clown stuff. Mike, We did it, man. We're back.
We're back
We're
again.
back.
We're
All
back
is
for
well.
the 18th time.
All is well.
Yeah, man.
All is well. I thank your lovely wife Zoya for filling in last week. It was a very great,
It was
gracious
her pleasure,
of her.
probably.
And I'm glad we're back in the seats together.
Yeah, man. Let's do some fun stuff next week.
Let's do some real fun stuff next week.
Yeah, we're gonna. I feel something changing.
Yeah,
And
the
I
winds
think-
of change are upon us.
Yeah, and some of it was foreseen, and some of it's not foreseen. But I think nothing but good stuff is gonna come out of it. And I'm very much. I went home for like 2-3 days. I'm very much recharged, and I want to try a lot of stuff.
Awesome,
I wanna have
dude.
a lot of fun.
Me too. I've got a lot of stuff coming up on the horizon as well that I'm very excited about, and I can't wait to include you and my other funny pals, and let's just get to work and do shit until we die.
Hey, and then after that, let's stay dead.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. If you would like to send us a history road of your own design, you can do so by sending it to dynamicbanter@gmail.com.
That's it. I expected that to be longer for a second. Don't.
You can also tweet at us at Dynamic Banter if you'd like to tweet at us some funny things. And I think you could still pre-order our shirts, right?
Yeah. And they'll be going out relatively soon, I think.
That's awesome. I can't wait. Where can they?
You could either go to, I think it's dynamicbanter.clothing, or you can go to mikefalzone.com, and then there's a button that says Dynamic Banter.
There we go.
That'll take you right to the shirt.
And guys, stay tuned for more t-shirt designs and potentially pins
yes.
coming up. And 2017 is going to be all right, despite a lot of bullshit going on. I think we will still carry on and still try to make you guys laugh through these dark, dark times.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening. And Mike, thank you once again.
You know what they say? Don't let some old white man affect your happiness.
I love that saying. Who said it?
My mom.
Einstein. Goodbye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.